Hey, what is the deal, everyone, and welcome back to Headlocks and Hot Packs. It is time to dip back into the boxes that we recently picked up at the indoor flea market for some more baseball, and as you can see here today, we are going with 91 Studio by Leaf, featuring, kind of hard to see because of the glare, Rod Carew puzzle. 48 packs in here, so we probably will hit our half-hour limit today. Not much in the way of good rookies in here, except for one, which is going to be the primary focus of what we're looking for, which would be Hall of Famer Jeff Bagwell. So I'm not going to spend too much time chatting here, we're just going to rip right in. Of course, we are also looking for Hall of Famers and stars. I always have to say "and stars" because, you know, guys like McGuire, Mattingly, Canseco are not in the Hall. Pretty beautiful box design here, by the way. And here's a look at the packs. Trying to set our box up here. There we go. Well, these ones are coming out already, so massive stacks here. Each pack, you can see, contains 3 puzzle pieces and 10 cards, so there are 480 cards in this box. And I believe that the set, there we go, 260. That might be 264, according to the Trading Card Database. So let's get right to ripping. Not sure what I'll do with those puzzle pieces. There's our 3 puzzle pieces for Hall of Famer Rod Carew. First card is Jose Offerman. There's Bobby Witt Sr., Kurt Stillwell, David Segui. There are some other rookies in this set, but the only one that really stood out was the Jeff Bagwell. So pretty much we're just looking for Hall of Famers. There's one right there, Lee Smith, and then Pete Harnish to polish off pack number 1. Hope everyone's having a good day and staying safe out there. I know people are eager to start doing things because they've been cooped up, but we're seeing that's not exactly the best idea. There's Tim Rock Reigns. Kind of weird how they don't put his nickname in quotations. There is Big Mac, Mark McGuire. And here's a look at the back. I almost always forget to do that. Not too much to these. Of course, they're just all studio shots, which is why it is called Donruss Studio. Black and Decker, pitcher and catcher. Who is this? Bud Black and Steve Decker. That's an interesting one there. Tim Wallach, we've seen tons of him lately. Devon White, a World Series champion. There's Hall of Famer John Smoltz, Shane Mack. And then our final card is Kirk McCaskill. So of course we would definitely expect to see a lot of doubles with this many cards per pack, this many packs, and only a reportedly 260 card set. There is Dwight Evans, Rob Deere, strikeout man, Dennis Eckersley is a Hall of Famer, so is Bert Blyleven, trying to keep things on the screen there. 3 Hall of Famers in a row there with Paul Molitor, Brooke Jacoby, Roberto Kelly, Mike Greenwell, Storm Davis, and then Brian Holman is our last card. No sign of Bagwell yet, but I would be very surprised if we don't find at least one Bagwell rookie with the amount of packs that we have here. Glenn Davis there. There's Eric Davis. Lenny Dykstra. Is this pack all D's? D's and C's. Tom Candiotti. Oral Hershiser. Rex Hudler. And then there is the Rocket, Roger Clemens. I think I've only got 2 of these studio cards in my PC. One might be Clemens. It's usually a good guess because I have so many Roger Clemens Red Sox cards. I do have a number of cards of him. There's another Rock Reigns, another McGuire, so same coalition that we saw before, so we have the exact same cards as that pack that housed the Reigns, McGuire, and Smoltz. Hopefully we don't run into too much of that, but again, with that many packs, it's kind of inevitable. Of course, the quality control was, back then, it was nowhere near what it is today, obviously. There is Donnie Baseball. He should definitely be in the Hall of Fame. Jose Lean, Barry Larkin, Hall of Fame shortstop. Jose Akendo is a Hall of Fame utility man. He's not actually in the Hall of Fame, but Lou Whitaker, a borderline hoffer. Ruben Sierra was a pretty good slugger, and Cal Ripken Jr. That may be, well, I guess we'll see. That's definitely one of the better cards in this set. Probably the Bagwell might be the most valuable, I would think. We have Tom Browning, the lefty. Darren Dalton, rest in peace to Darren Dalton. Roberto Alomar, Hall of Famer there. Another one with Gary Carter. Pedro Guerrero. Andre Dawson the Hawk. Again, Pedro Guerrero, no relation to Chavo or Eddie. There's Hall of Famer Tom Glavine with, look at that mullet. That is definitely a 90s haircut and a half. Not that I have any place to judge anyone. I can't remember if I've talked about this on the channel before or not, but there's a 98-year-old Charlie Huff, Dan Gladden. There was a point in time, Jose Canseco, when I want to say I was like 6 or 7, and I brought my WCW Galoob Scott Steiner figure with me to not the barber shop, but I think it was a place kind of like a Supercuts or something along those lines, and told them, give me this. So I had quite the moulet back in the day for a little bit. Donnie Baseball leads off again, so here's another repeat pack. Yep, there's the Barry Larkin once more, and another Akendo. Who else was in that? I forgot who else was in that pack there. Cal Ripken, that's correct, was the last one. I'm sure we'll have enough puzzle pieces here to put together at least one Rod Carew puzzle. I'm not sure what I would do with it. Don't know that would really be worth trying to put on eBay to sell. Especially, that was Hall of Famer Ryan Sandberg there. Especially since no more AC Moore, so the best place to get quality frames for a good price around here is no longer. It was kind of the same story with when Toys R Us went out of business, which I was working there at the time. I didn't see it out all the way till the end. Hall of Famer Tony Gwynn there. But really, Toys R Us was the only game in town outside of like Walmart to pick up your toys. So that was pretty unfortunate, especially for me working there. I have to say it was pretty, I don't know if it is unfortunate, because it was quite tempting every time I would see the new wrestling figures coming in, especially when I worked stocking shelves. I was always one of the first people to even know that we had them. I think that might be our first pack where there was no Hall of Famer. I could be wrong on that. Although if you count the Rod Carew puzzle, onto our second stack, by the way. So we're actually not doing too bad. That took about a little under 10 minutes to open that first stack. First stack of 12. There is Joe Girardi, former Yanks manager. Steve Sachs with printing botch on there. Frank Thomas, that is a 90s flat top, if I've ever seen one. The Big Hurt. Todd Van Poppel was a pretty big prospect in the day. Kurt Schilling, I would like to reiterate what I said about Kurt Schilling in our last video. I think he should be in the Hall of Fame, but I think sometimes he should just shut his mouth. That was Rafael Palmeiro, for those who did not see. Glamour Shots. I don't know how many people remember Glamour Shots. It was basically a place you could go get your picture taken at the mall. And it was a huge fad for a few years. I remember my mother definitely went and got some Glamour Shots done. You know a Glamour Shots photo when you see it. I don't know how else to describe it. They don't really look too much different from these, honestly. Another CRJ there. Another Sandberg. So, still looking for Jeff Bagwell. As a Red Sox fan, Jeff Bagwell is kind of a touchy subject because he was in the Red Sox system, of course, and he's either from Boston or from the Boston area anyways, but was in the Red Sox system, and he was traded to Houston for what I couldn't even tell you right now. I want to say, was it pitcher Larry Anderson? I don't know if that's right or not. It sounds right. Or maybe he was a part of the deal anyways, but regardless, the Astros got a Hall of Fame first baseman, and the Red Sox got pretty much nothing. So, not a good trade for those Red Stockings. Where are you at, Jeff Bagwell? Another Dalton, another Alomar there. Carter. Trying to kind of organize off to the side a little bit as we go. Ken Caminiti, the former MVP. Rest in peace to Ken Caminiti. Had a lot of issues, did Ken Caminiti. Unfortunate that he passed away so young. Gary Sheffield there. Here's some new ones that we haven't seen yet. Tim Naring, Andy Van Slyke, Chris Sabo without the glasses. You know, full disclosure, I am straight, but Chris Sabo was a handsome-looking fellow without those Coke bottle goggles. Hall of Famer Dave Winfield we saw there. Bobby Thigpen, Bip Roberts, and Juan Samuel or Samwell. Not Samuel Turley. Okay. Leading off, we have Mark Langston. Kevin Moss was another kind of touted prospect who flamed out. I think you can see too, some of these, see at the bottom there, some of these cards are a little bit dinged. There's our first checklist. Tony La Russa, BJ Surhoff, and Dave Magadan. Yeah, honestly, I don't remember even who the other rookies are in this set. That's pretty much explains how bad they were. Another Canseco there. Jim Abbott, the lefty. Glenn Owen Hill, Steve Howe, Ron Gant. I always liked Ron Gant. Von Calderon, and Tony Fernandez. Still a few Hall of Famers we have not seen yet. I have not seen, haven't seen Ricky Henderson at all. And is Griffey in this set? I can't even remember now. I would imagine that he is. I would be very surprised. Another Glavin there. I'd be very surprised if Ken Griffey is not in here. Jimmy Reese. Who is Jimmy Reese? Says he's a CH. So I guess just a coach. Kevin Belcher. Don't give him adult beverage. He will belch. Sorry, Dad. I have dad jokes for days, guys, so it's one thing you will learn about me by watching this channel. Except when I'm playing video games. I keep it pretty PG when we're doing baseball cards, Hall of Famer Kirby Puckett, baseball, basketball cards, or looking at action figures. You know, I don't really cuss, but on my game videos, I cannot say that, because when I'm in the heat of the moment, sometimes it just happens, so love me some good old cuss words. Generally, I just say things to make myself laugh, quite honestly, and I don't particularly give an F, Hall of Famer Ellen Trammell, if other people think it's funny or not, although it is nice when you say something that you think is funny and other people laugh. I don't even know what are we even talking about on this channel anymore. I don't even know. Almost halfway through this box. Another checklist with Tommy Lasorda, Brett Butler, Bernard Gilkey, Sean Bosky. So some new ones here. Vince Coleman, Mike Benjamin. There's Hall of Famer Craig Biggio. Where are you at, Jeff Bagwell? Bobby Bonilla. Yes, I know it's Bonilla. And Chris Hoyles finishes that pack off. And after this one, we will be officially halfway through. John Burkett. I remember John Burkett mostly because I believe in like season mode on Ken Griffey Jr. Major League Baseball for Super Nintendo, the opening day pitcher is actually John Burkett. Hey, there he is. We finally found him. The Jeff Bagwell rookie card. And honestly, the centering on this one is pretty good. Might be off a little bit top to bottom, but here we go. Jeff was born May 27, 1968 in Boston, Massachusetts. Originally drafted by Boston, traded to the Houston Astros. Doesn't say who he was traded for, though. But we found what exactly we were looking for. Hall of Famer Jeff Bagwell rookie card. So we'll put that on the screen as we are officially halfway through the box now. Still looking for some more Hall of Famers, though, and certainly won't complain if we pull a couple of Jeff Bagwell rookie cards. I'm not really the kind of collector who's gonna send things off to get graded, so I'm not sure what I would do if I have multiples. Probably I'll probably start working on making more like mystery grab bags like I have for sale on eBay right now, which are basically all doubles, all my doubles, and I've had so many of them that there's Sammy Sosa. Look at that hairdo right there. That's a wild Sosa do. Had so many doubles that I was able, Hall of Famer Randy Johnson, able to do mystery grab bags and, you know, have be able to not make every card the same, essentially. You know, if you buy two of them, chances are you're gonna see very, very minimal doubles, if any at all. Okay, we got Sam Horn, Rick Honeycutt, the lefty, George Bell there, and another Bagwell rookie. So we have found a couple. So let's see exactly how many we can find out of here. Jack Clark, Jeff Conine. Is that Conine's No, it's not Conine's rookie. Okay. There is Ken Griffey Sr. So we're still looking for his son, who is, quite honestly, still probably, well, I don't know about anymore. Him and Trout are by far the best players. Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. The best players I've ever seen, all-around players. They could do everything. Trout still can do everything, of course. So there is the Ken Griffey Jr. At least crack a smile for us, kid. Scott Erickson there. Sparky Anderson. Wow, Sparky Anderson smiling. You don't see that very often. Ramon Martinez, Pedro's brother. There's Goose Gossage. So why didn't they put Rich Goose Gossage like they did Tim Rock Reigns? It's a little unusual. Eric Anthony, and then Jay Bell is the final card in that pack. Probably could put a set together if I wanted to here. There's another Alan Trammell. Nolan Ryan, first time seeing that one. Ryan McRae, Greg Olson, Franklin Stubbs, Tony Pena, Wally Joyner, and then the final one is Todd Zeal. Another one of those highly touted prospects that, I don't know if we could say Todd Zeal flamed out, but he just was never was the player that people thought he would be. Which is kind of always the issue with prospects. You know, like everybody's going crazy over this Jason Dominguez guy. And for all we know, he could be the next Kevin Moss. So, another Big Mac there. If you're saying, who is Kevin Moss? That's exactly my point. There's always tons of prospects that never pan out to be anything. And then you get guys like Mike Trout, who weren't high draft picks and end up possibly being the best player ever. Eddie Murray, the Hall of Famer, member of the 500 Home Run Club. And there is the Bonds. Still haven't seen Ricky, though. Still looking for Henderson. Moises Alou and Paul Ferris, or Ferries, not sure how you say that name. That might be one of the random no-name rookies. I don't know, Paul Ferris, however you say his name. Doesn't ring any bells with me. Sid Bream, Oil Can Boyd, Rob Dibble there, Joe Carter, Blue Jays legend. That might be my earliest baseball, or well, it's not my earliest baseball memory, but it's my earliest memory of watching baseball on television. The World Series where Carter hit the home run to clinch it over the Philadelphia Phillies. What was that, 93? The 93 World Series. My first real baseball memory is of my granddad taking me to Fenway Park for the very first time. I was only 5 years old, but I can tell you it was the White Sox were in town, and Frank Thomas went deep for the White Sox only run of the game because the Red Sox had the Rocket Roger Clemens on the mound. So pretty cool first baseball memory to have. A Clemens pitched game where he dominated, and the only run scored by the other team was a bomb by a Hall of Famer. So not sure how much more you could really ask for out of your first ever Fenway Park experience. Since then, I have been 2 or 3 more times, but I had a massive gap in between visits. So like I said, that first visit of mine to Fenway Park was when I was 5 years old, and then my next visit to Fenway was not until either my early 30s or late 20s. Carlton Fisk, the Hall of Famer there. First time seeing that one. So I've been a handful of times to Fenway at this point. I didn't go that long without seeing a Red Sox game, period, because I used to live in Port Charlotte, Florida, which is not far from St. Petersburg, home of the Tampa Bay Rays. And I haven't been to too many baseball stadiums, but probably the Trop is the biggest dumpster of a stadium in the major leagues. Like, it is pretty awful. But anyway, I got to see the Sox play there, and that was the last pack of that stack, by the way. So on to our final stack here. Look at all this wax caca all over my table here. But anyways, yeah, I saw the Sox play the Rays in St. Pete in, I believe, 2008. And had incredibly good seats for dirt cheap. I was sitting directly behind home plate. Like, directly behind. Like, the middle of my nose would have been the middle of home plate. And 3 rows back, Hall of Famer Edgar Martinez there. So 3rd row, literally behind home plate. And oddly enough, what is this? Studio. The studio set. So that probably counts as one of the 260. But in the seat, Robin Yount, Hall of Famer there. Don't think we saw that one yet either. And Mo Vaughn finished that pack off. The seat directly in front of me sitting was Don Zimmer. So that was kind of cool. Of course, Zimmer is probably most known for being thrown on the ground by Pedro Martinez when Zimmer was a part of the Yankees coaching staff. Another studio set card. Was a Offerman, a Kendo, 2 Mark Graces in 1 pack. That's a little weird. Hojo, Lloyd Mosby, and then Mookie Wilson there. Of course, 08 was the year that the Rays beat out the Red Sox in the postseason. The Red Sox were the defending World Series champions. Sweeping, there's Ricky Henderson, finally found him. Sweeping the Colorado Rockies, 2007 did the Red Sox. Ellis Burks there. Hall of Famer George Brett, first time seeing that one. Here is another Griffey. And then Scott Fletcher. Well, I'm not going to beat out the 30-minute mark, so I'll have to start a new clip here, coming up soon. Jeff Conine, Ken Griffey Sr. again, Charlie Hayes, another Eddie Murray, kind of a weird picture of Eddie Murray there. Wade Boggs, don't think we've seen that one yet, and Mike Boddicker. Not sure if I have that Boggs already or not. I think at one point I had bought some lots of Red Sox cards off of eBay, which was how I ended up, Hall of Famer Jack Morris there, how I ended up with so many Clemens and Boggs cards. And kind of a funny picture of Ozzie Smith there, looking like Tim the Toolman Taylor's neighbor, Wilson, peeking over his glove there like Wilson would peek over the fence. Fred McGriff, I think the Crime Dog should get some more Hall of Fame consideration. Lloyd Mosby again, and another Mookie Wilson there. I wonder how many of these Carew puzzles I would be able to put together. I've only really done that with one of them. It was the Yaz puzzle from 90 Donruss, I believe. I think it was 90 Donruss. Another Sosa. Sosa looks like a 90s actor whose name I'm drawing a blank on. Another big unit, Randy Johnson we saw there, and then Atlee Hammaker finishes that one out. And we just hit our time limit on that first clip there, which worked out because I was in the middle of still opening this pack here. Another Ramon Martinez. Pedro is not a part of this set. This is Goose Gossage there. This is Pedro's rookie year, which I picked up a box of 91, I think it was Upper Deck Final Edition, or Upper Deck Update, or whatever it was they called it, so I could get me a Pedro Martinez rookie card. Another Bonds there. So we'll probably see that Pedro, or we'll definitely see that Pedro coming up in one of the parts of us looking at my baseball card PC. Tim Leary finishes that pack off there. Down to our last four here. No inserts in this set, by the way, in case anyone was wondering, or if I failed to mention it. Frank Viola looking like the pitching coach in Rookie of the Year there. Henry Rowan-Gardner. Go back and watch Rookie of the Year and tell me the pitching coach guy doesn't look kind of like Frank Viola. Terry Mulholland there, there's the guy who, was it him or, no, I'm sorry, I think it was Mitch Williams gave up the home run to Joe Carter. Another Sosa there. Looks like, should be a member of, like, In Living Color cast with that photo there. Eric King. Another Randy Johnson there, and then another Atlee Hammaker to finish that pack out. Last three packs here. There's JoJo Offerman's daddy, Bobby Witt Jr.'s daddy we saw there. Another David Segui, Greg Vaughn the Slugger, Don Slott, that's a pretty cool name. Kind of sounds like Onslaught. Hall of Famer Lee Smith. Seen a couple of him. And then Pete Harnish to finish out that one. Second to last pack here. See if we can't pull another Bagwell rookie card. Because you know what I just noticed on this one? See that line going down his face there? This one does not have that, so this one has a printing error. So thankfully we did find two of them, so I have one good one. I didn't notice that printing error before on there. That was the first one that we pulled. Scott Geraltz, Alex Fernandez, Rick Aguilera, and hey, guess what? Was there no puzzle piece in there, or did I put it to the side already and forget? I don't know. Sometimes that happens when you open 48 packs. Final pack of our box here. Thank you everybody for watching. If you have not done so, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. And if you aren't a subscriber to the channel, you should smash that subscribe button. You can get notified every time we release a new video, which is basically every other day. Cecil Fielder, Dave Henderson, Lance Dixon, Dwight Gooden, and our final card, is it another Bagwell? It is not. It is Will the Thrill Clark. So again, thank you everybody for tuning in to our 91 studio box opening. Two Jeff Bagwell cards here, rookies, but one is got that printing error going down the middle of his mug there. So this is the one that will end up in my PC. So again, thanks for tuning in everyone, and we will see you next time.